with your CIGTV news update. I'm Shanda Gallego in for Donna Bush. In our top story, with peak season still 2 weeks away, CIGTV News speaks to the National Weather Service about what the Cayman Islands should expect for the rest of the hurricane season. As is the case each year, National Weather Service Director General John Tibbetts explains that forecasters have been reviewing storm activity and revising their initial predictions from the start of the season.
Organizations that look at the seasonal forecast have noticed that our El Nino friend has basically dissipated, and we've gone to a neutral phase. A neutral phase in the El Nino cycle is not the best news in the world for you. And so some of the predictions are creeping a bit higher. Not expecting a big super active storm season or anything of that sort. It is expected to be an average to slightly maybe above average season. Prediction coming out from Colorado State says that after July the 31st, we're going to have 12 named storms, 6 hurricanes and 2 major hurricanes. To date, for this hurricane season, we've had 5 named storms, 2 hurricanes and 1 major hurricane. And if you notice that August in particular has been very active. We've had in the month of August 3 named storms and 1 major hurricane. Predictions coming out of NOAA mirror the predictions coming out of Colorado State. They are fairly close.
Mr. Tibbetts also outlined the current status of the Atlantic Basin as we move towards the busiest time of the year for hurricanes.
We have a tropical storm Fernand has formed in the western Gulf of Mexico this afternoon. And at 1 p.m. that is at 23.5 north and 95.3 west. Its maximum sustained winds are about 40 miles per hour, and its motion is west at 7 miles per hour. Okay. Other than that system, we've also got a fairly strong disturbance that's in the eastern Atlantic Ocean. At this particular point, it is an area of interest for the National Hurricane Center, and the predictions that are on their outlook indicates that it will develop and move north. It's not expected to be a danger to the Caribbean region. Okay. Additionally, there is a weaker disturbance near Bermuda that is expected to move north.
Turning to Hurricane Dorian, currently moving northerly up the eastern seaboard of the United States, Mr. Tibbetts notes that Dorian offers a lesson to the region of the dangers of slow-moving storms.
The other thing with a storm moving very slow at 2 and 3 miles per hour is that it tends to build up storm surge. And storm surge is normally the #1 killer with a hurricane. In Cayman's case, it is even more so because we are low-lying, and so storm surge is a major problem for us.
The Director General of the Weather Service also stressed the importance to the public of staying informed.
Well, #1 thing basically is the monitoring of the situation, whether it be your local radio stations, your weather radio, or the hurricane channel for systems that might form near us. You don't want to miss any particular day in which a storm may form. You don't want to miss, if you get a storm form, like say south of Jamaica, for example, and you've missed a day, all of a sudden you think you're well, and then but you've got a hurricane on your doorstep. So monitoring the system, the various forms of media this time of year is very, very critical.
For the latest weather information throughout hurricane season and at any time of the year, check out www.weather.gov.ky. In our last story of the day, Commerce Planning and Infrastructure Minister Joey Hew spoke to CIGTV about changes to customs duties for some environmentally friendly vehicles that took effect today. Encouraging environmentally friendly vehicles, the minister explains, is a key policy initiative for his ministry.
Key element of this government's move in supporting a shift to renewable energies. It is in keeping with the priority that we have now waived customs duties on electric vehicles and hybrid vehicles, as well as bicycles and electric motorcycles. The waiver applies to personal and commercial vehicles, and of course we want to really encourage the sector using public transport to move to more renewable energies such as the EVs or hybrids.
Mr. Hugh went on to explain how the duty reductions would work for all vehicles and for bicycles.
The examples of those are that personal vehicles 0 to 29,999 will be at 0 custom duties, and then we have increments of 10,000 and 5% in relation to the increments. Commercial vehicles will be the same. Public transport, no matter the cost, if it's electric, will be at 0% custom duties, and the hybrids will be at 15% custom duties.
The minister also thanked those public sector partners who had helped to make the change in duties possible.
The policy was supported by the entire government. It's keeping us in line with the national energy policy and our goals of the national energy policy. But included in this were obviously Customs and Border Patrol, as they were the lead agency in adjusting the custom duties. Of course, the Ministry of Finance, we thank the government and the minister for allowing us to put these duty reductions in effect, as it will affect our overall budget on the importation of vehicles. And we hope that it does. We hope that more people will invest in electric vehicles versus the traditional diesel or gasoline vehicles.
For more information on border energy efficiency initiatives underway as part of the National Energy Policy, you can also see that available from the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure Facebook page. The government is also planning to transition its own fleet to more fuel-efficient or electric options where practical in the future. That is your latest news. As always, if you missed today's news update, you can get all the details on our Facebook and YouTube pages. And of course, don't forget to tune in to Radio Cayman's For the Record and Talk Today shows. I'm Shanda Gallego. Thanks for watching.
Boating, fishing, and water sports in the Cayman Islands are great, but keep a cool head. Here are 7 tips for fun and safe sea outings. Number 1. Use a checklist to plan your outing. Check the weather forecast, make a float plan, and share it with someone who is remaining on land, stating where you're going, with whom, and when you're expected to return. Visit your nearest marine supply store to get your safety gear. This includes signaling mirrors, whistles, and a flare kit. It's also very important to have onboard flotation devices and life vests for each person. There are different types of vests. Some are for water sport activities such as snorkeling, and others are for going on offshore boating or on fishing trips. Number 2. These items can be lifesavers in case of an accident or bad weather. Number 3. Use a motor kill switch, especially if you're boating alone. In case of a leak or breakdown, always stay with the boat until help arrives. If you capsize, an emergency beacon or locator device can send a distress signal to inform the authorities of your location. Larger flares will indicate distress to a boat, airplane, or search and rescue officials. Number 4. In addition to sunscreen, food, and beverages, it would be smart to have a cell phone. Make sure your marine radio works. Cayman's boaters use Channel 16 to communicate. Number 5. Also, don't forget your anchor and sufficient rope. Number 6. Boat operators should be familiar with the local waters and reefs, as well as the capabilities and functions of the vessels they are using. Always obey the rules of the sea and the marine environment, and have courtesy for others. Number 7. Alcohol and salt water do not mix, especially if you're the captain. Some useful contact numbers are 911. The RCIPS Marine Base is 649-7710, and the Port Authority is 949-2055. Smooth sailing, all!